day he can putt with the best of him. Philip Studd caught up with him.
Jimmy, I believe it's your third time here at the Templedrum. What do you make of this venue?
Yeah, it's a really nice venue. It's my second favourite venue really on the calendar. This is the Crucible, so it's a big arena, and it's really looking forward to today.
2,500 fans it can take. I mean, for snooker, that is absolutely huge, isn't it?
Yeah, no, it's a great venue, and I'm sure when it's packed, the atmosphere is brilliant as well. So, no, just looking forward to getting out there now.
And you're up against the defending champion today, in Anthony Hamilton. I don't think you've played him since 2012, so I guess it's about time you met again.
Yeah, no, I'm sure we've played twice before, but yeah, it's been a while since we've met each other. So he's obviously a great player and defending champion, so it should be a good occasion today.
And are you hitting the ball well at the moment?
Playing well at the minute, yeah. The season's been quite consistent in winning a lot of my first, second, third rounds. But obviously you need to try and go deep in some tournaments, and hopefully today I can start with that.
Play well, good luck.
Thank you, cheers.
It's an interesting one with Jimmy, because you look at the fact that he was first a pro in 2002, but he had a 6-year hiatus, and he feels like a new player in a strange way, that the last couple of seasons has been when we've started to see the potential danger as Q provides.
Yeah, he's a very good player, very good scorer, makes lots of big breaks, but when he comes up against like the top 4 players in the world, he doesn't seem to play his normal game. He'd be quite comfortable playing Anthony Hamilton, but Anthony Hamilton, in his previous qualifier, he was 5-1 down and won 6-5, and he'd be full of confidence being defending champion.
Yeah, and listen, you look at players' styles, and Jimmy Robertson's does stand out, Neil.
Yeah, he's got his own style, the way you can see it there, his arm sort of elbow juts out a little bit. It's similar to Ray Reardon. He wasn't a bad player with that sort of unusual cue action, and he'd like to be as good. But, he made an interesting point, Jimmy, that if you go deep in one tournament, with the way the prize is stacked up for the guys that do well, one big tournament for him could make him rocket up the rankings, and that's the sort of thing he's looking for. So a good run this week could really help him.
Absolutely, and it helps him that he's been here and he's played here before. That's what I mean about, despite how long he's been playing for, it feels like he's just coming into his own.
Yeah, he is a player, as I said. In lots of his decided matches this season, he's made a century in the deciding frame. So he's got all the game. He's just, with Anthony Hamilton, I think he slightly got the edge, being champion and being a better break builder for me.
Yeah, absolutely. Listen, there's one part missing for us here, of course, which is Ronnie O'Sullivan, which we'll get to in just a little second. But the head-to-head shows that it's too close to call this. The bookies they've got a headache. They went for a lie down with a flannel on their foreheads.
It's a good point. I mean, as you heard, they haven't played for quite a while. It's 5 years since they last met, and I think with Anthony Hamilton, the problem is his back's not been great, so I think there is one or two doubts about him. But as Jimmy said, he's playing well. Yeah,
and as I said, the Rocket, of course, he isn't playing in the tournament, but very much part of the Eurosport team. He can't stay away. He's going to be out here on Saturday and Sunday, right at this table with us for the semi-finals and the final. But just before we came to Berlin, we popped round the Rockets and got his view on some of the main contenders, starting with the champion.
Paid the cost to be the boss.
And as a snooker player, your aim is to try and win the frame in one visit. And Anthony does that as good as anybody on the circuit. So for me, his strongest asset would be his break building. If I had to pick a weakness in Anthony Hamilton's game, I'd have to say that sometimes he probably doesn't have the belief that his ability deserves. If I had Anthony Hamilton's game, I would believe that I could win any tournament I could play in. And I'm not sure Anthony actually feels that way. So I'm not sure whether it's a mental thing or a belief thing, but if he could just impose himself a little bit more in the game, show his opponent that I'm the boss of this table, I think, or I know, he'll win a lot more. Since winning the German Open, Anthony really hasn't found the type of winning form that he'll need to find if he's again to retain the title that he won last year.
Well, it's all set up perfectly. Forget the outside world for the afternoon and stay indoors with us. Your welcoming hosts in the commentary box, Joe Johnson and Philip Studd.
What an occasion.
Am TV-Tisch als
Templedrum of Cal doing the introductions.
Anthony Hamilton.
And this is the moment that Anthony Hamilton has been waiting for, to be introduced as the defending champion. 26 years a professional before he finally cracked it here 12 months ago. A worthy winner and one of the most likeable guys on the circuit. Very dry sense of humour. Self-deprecating sort of character, but as Ronnie O'Sullivan said, a real talent. And up against him today, Jimmy Robertson, who is talented in his own right. He's had a solid season. He's reached the last 32 in most of the events he's contested. It's been getting beyond that that's been the difficulty for the world number 37. Just one last 16 appearance, which is the furthest he's gone in a ranking event.
Anthony, all the best to you. Jimmy, all the best.
But I'm sure this is a match that Robertson feels he can win if he plays
Thank you, first frame.
his A game, Joe.
Yeah, I think it's going to be tough today for Anthony because he's defending a title that he's never won before, and it's a different mindset. He's going to be under pressure, and he's playing a very good player in Jimmy Robertson. Played 3 times, the head-to-head, it favours Anthony. But they haven't played for about 9 years, so it's going to be new, and that's not the best break-off. Always good to get a good break-off, because that's what you're preparing yourself for as you walk out. Make sure I get a good break-off. It sets the pattern, but he hasn't been punished. Just what Anthony needed there. A let off. Didn't want to be sat in his seat for 10 minutes while Jimmy was making a break. Yeah, good speed.
One.
Very good pot. And nicely on the brown. And he played the aggressive shot there, didn't he? Into the pack. Normally play those kind of shots when you've settled into the game.
5.
Plenty of open reds to play for. A chance to go into them, and I think he's okay. He's pushed the black safe, but he's on a red. And judged the kiss well to finish on the pink in the middle. Now, it would do him a favour if the pink spot was held.
Attractive player to watch, Robertson, when he's in full flow. He gets on with it.
12.
Natural sort of player.
Well, this is a good chance that he's created, but he would like to get rid of that
13.
red below the pink, just to the left of the pink, stopping the pink going into the left corner, so he'd like to get rid of that as soon as possible. Now he wants to finish pretty straight on the pink this time, so he can get rid
19.
of that awkward red. That's just about right.
$26. $27.
Just pinched a little bit on the pocket there to hold cue ball for the pink. And still got open reds he can play for. Doesn't need to go into the pack of reds. Now he's underhit that one. Played for the red into the right corner.
33. $34.
Well, you can see he's thinking, should I go into the pack? Got to do it at some stage. And I think he did decide to go into the pack. And if he's on the red to the corner, he's been fortunate there.
39. Jimmy Robertson, 39.
So 39 break. Puts him into a good lead. But he'll be disappointed. Didn't play the cannon to that red last time round. Now the red by the blue is cuttable. Well, he raised his hand slightly, so take it, he didn't play that.
Anthony Hamilton, 1.
This is the red that allowed him to get the snooker.
Foul, miss. Anthony Hamilton, 4.
Micah Kessler, our referee, just making sure the cue ball is exactly where it was before the foul.
Jimmy? Yeah, Anthony?
That's more or less the same spot.
Foul, miss. Anthony Hamilton, 4.
Just a little bit more adjustment higher up the cushion. Doesn't want to come the other side of the red, otherwise he would leave the red onto the left corner. So has to hit it full ball or this side of the red, the left side, like that. And the black is stopping the red going into that right corner pocket.
It's been a largely disappointing season for the defending champion. Anthony Hamilton has suffered 7 first-round exits this season. Neil Foulds alluded to the fact that he's been struggling with a back problem, which has kind of come and gone, but when he is suffering, it's very difficult for him to practice in the way he'd like to. He was absolutely determined to get back here to the Templedrum to defend his title, though. Did so courtesy of a final frame decider against Mitchell Mann. And Jimmy Robertson got through as well. by the skin of his teeth against Peter Lyons. That also went to a final frame.
Well, he had a lot of side on the cue ball there, and I didn't think he needed any. Just needed to come back down the left side of the table. But by trying to come down the right side of the table, he's made contact with the blue. It's left a half chance here for Robertson. Yeah, clean. And nicely on the brown. So with the pink available, every chance of winning the frame at this visit. In fact, he'd be disappointed if he didn't. Not straight enough on these two reds to come down for the pink.
5.
Now he may be able to play the cannon off the red.
Six. $13.
43 points the difference. Still needs a couple of reds.
$19.
Well, the red to the middle is guaranteed. But because he needs the rest for this, a lot more difficult than the other one. But not afraid of using the rest.
20.
So this pink and that red in the middle of the table would be enough. And the frame, barring Snookers, should be his after this red.
26. $27.
Applause for frame ball.
$33. $34. Jimmy Robertson, 34.
Well, Anthony Hamilton coming back to the table, not with any pretensions of winning the frame, of course, but he just wants to get a feel for things. Safety error cost him in this opener.
$1.
And that is the end of the first frame. So a good start from Jimmy Robertson, the world number 37, with a couple of 30-plus breaks. Anthony Hamilton with a safety mistake, which proved costly. And it's Hamilton who has a 1-0 deficit.
Football, 90 minutes where anything can happen. You can watch it and you can get involved in it with the latest Coral action.
At Coral, get double your winnings if your team wins both halves in the Tottenham Man United match.
from App Store and Google Play.
Towards the Crucible in the spring. Up against Michael Georgiou today on table 3 is Ding. Early stages of the first frame.
Thank you. Second frame, Jimmy Robertson to break.
Jimmy Robertson will be delighted to have got off to a good start. His third appearance here at the Templedrum. He's not had any success here in the past. Hoping to make it third time lucky.
Caught it just a little bit too thin. Tough shots, those. There is a red that will go to the left corner, but difficult to manoeuvre the cue ball. The red next to the black is in the way, so just playing the safety. Well, did I say the safety?
One.
Found a plant, but I don't think he played it. Nodded to his opponent.
Yellow ball. Anthony Hamilton won.
Well, there is a little danger here because the red behind the black will go to the left corner. So if he lands up to this red, he'd be in trouble. So playing the 2 cushion escape.
Foul, a miss. Anthony Hamilton 6. Marcel, can you help me with the pink? Okay. Yeah.
Marcel Eckhart is our marker today. There he is. Officiating in his home tournament, Marcel.
Thank you. Yeah, Anthony?
And this time he catches it just right. Excellent escape. It seemed to spring off the ball cushion there. Just caught the red. Well, full ball kiss on the brown there. It's left him with a possible red to the left corner. But the black, well, I don't think it's available. Well, there's danger with this one. Could catch the reds. Did well to avoid them. And did well to cover that red down the left side of the table. A little fortunate. Wasn't far away. Again, it seemed to spring off the black cushion there.
Loves Berlin, Anthony Hamilton. He said ahead of his title defence that regardless of what happens today, he's going to remain out here and enjoy himself, see the sights. Of course, he'd love to continue his defence as far as he can possibly go. If he were to go on to retain the title, he'd be the first ever to do so. Never a two-time winner here at the German Masters. Originally known as the German Open when it was first staged back in 1995.
Well, no easy path back to baulk. He's got to catch this really thin. Otherwise the cue ball could hit the jaws of the pocket. And that's just what happened. Oh, and I think he'd got away with it up until the cue ball disappearing. So, easy enough red, but just caught them too thick, didn't he? Easy enough red for Anthony. The black and pink not available on this shot.
One.
Very difficult to control when the object ball's in the jaws of the pocket like that. And he's just come a little bit too far for the blue. May have to take the green. Couldn't have got any closer. And I think there is a red on to the left middle. So a chance for Jimmy Robertson. Well, maybe the red doesn't go. Yep, it does.
One.
Just a little too far for the black. Choices of red to the left corner, left middle. Has to get the right side of the blue.
Seven.
It's not been an easy ride for Jimmy Robertson as a professional. First term pro back in 2002, dropped off the tour a couple of times. Suffered from the shakes at one stage of his career, which is obviously terminal
12.
for a snooker player, but happily overcame that condition. Very talented footballer as a youngster as well. He had trials at Crystal Palace.
Thirteen.
Well, either hit it a little too hard or not hard enough.
18.
Now, if you could take the red below the pink, that would free the pink to the middle and the corner. And that looks just about right. And play for the pink
24.
to the right middle.
$25. $31. $32. $38.
Yes, it'd have liked to have been straighter on this red, so it could have got to the black and then freed that area.
39.
Well, looks like the only red he can play for there is the one he was looking at. And he needs to leave this in such a way that he doesn't cannon into the other red. Could have done with running through just a little bit more.
45.
Yeah, that's a good recovery shot.
46.
And he could be on the black. Yep, another good shot. Now, is he on the easy red? The other one will cut to the right corner, but he'd like the easy red.
53.
Another good recovery.
54.
Now, is this straight on the pink? If he's straight on the pink, he can come back down for the two reds or the one behind the black. That looks good. Needs to slow down, though. He's just over-hit it and out of position. Just a little bit too much adrenaline in that shot. Got hold of the cue ball too well. Needed it to stop around about there. Well, wasn't he fortunate there? He could just see the red. How lucky was this?
He was, but he cued it very well.
Didn't he just?
What an excellent break this has been from Jimmy Robertson. And
65.
Now, already, Anthony Hamilton leading a snooker.
Yeah, this one to make sure. And as you say, Philip, it was a really good break. They weren't there. Black and pink tied up.
66.
All of this the result of the miss blue to right corner from Hamilton. Rattled it in the jaws.
And this is it. Just came a little too far for it to the middle.
Jimmy Robertson, 73.
Jimmy Robertson bidding for only his third ever appearance in the last 16 of a ranking event. His second this season, and he's made a terrific start. That was an excellent 70-plus break from Robertson to double his lead, and the defending champion in a spot of bother here, 2-0 down.
Ladbrokes, proud sponsors of snooker on Eurosport.
Jim by Tai. Togetherness. A connection beyond man and machine. The all-new Mazda CX-5. Available with 3.9% APR representative. Drive together.
Bet Boost from William Hill lets you enhance the odds that matter the most, pre-match and in play. All you need to do is decide which market you want to boost. Boost your rackers, boost your long shots, boost the favourites. We're giving you a bet boost every day to use on any sport. Simply make your selection, hit boost in your bet slip, and you're away. More boosts, more control, more to celebrate. William Hill, this is more.
A terrific start from Jimmy Robertson. 2-0 up against the defending German Masters champion, Anthony Hamilton. A safety error in the first frame from Hamilton proved costly, and a potting error did for him in the second. Mr. Blue, only just by a hair's breadth, but that was enough, and Robertson stepped in with a superb 70-plus break. Now, Ding Junhui in action today against Michael Georgiou, and really in need of an extended run in a big event like this, Ding. He's been struggling for form and confidence of late. I can tell you that Georgiou has taken the opening frame, so Ding looking to respond and get a foothold in the match. 3 matches underway this afternoon. Of course, there are 5 tables here at the Templedrum. Tremendous for the spectators. They can watch all 5 simultaneously. Buy 1, get 4 free, Joe. That's your kind of deal.
Certainly is, isn't it? But what an atmosphere this place is. Well, here comes Anthony back again.
It's frame 3.
And needs to get
Anthony Hamilton's
his name on the board, otherwise it's going to get more difficult for him. Played a good attacking shot in the last frame and very nearly potted the blue. And those points could have been his. Just caught the blue there. So again, that wouldn't have been a good break-off without that kiss on the blue. There it is again. He just catches the blue, look. And that changes the direction of the white. Jimmy's safety play has been very good. And when he's got in amongst the balls, he's been lethal. Anthony looking for an easy chance to get that wonderful cue action going that he's got. Well, he's a little worried about pushing a red over that left corner, but if he caught them thin, which he'd need to do to avoid that right corner pocket,
foul. Miss. Jimmy Robertson 4.
well, Jimmy having a look at this red, but it looks extra thin, this one. Caught it from behind. But a good kiss on the brown. Yep, just rubbed it. But it might just be able to cut this red to the right corner, the one above and to the right of the black. Could be one to the right middle as well. Not the best safety shot from Jimmy Robertson. May have left this red onto the left corner. No, can't see enough of it. So just the safety. looks a pretty good safety shot from Jimmy Robertson there. Trying to force Anthony to take something on to the left corner. And he may just be able to see enough of that red to clip it in. Yep, good shot. Needs to bounce out of baulk though to give himself a chance. And that's not the best kiss. He has a little smile to himself because it was a good pot. Deserved better. So just a snooker. I don't understand that shot.
Anthony Hamilton won.
Why not just roll up behind the yellow? Just should have just touched the yellow. He would have been in trouble. A little bit of brain fog there, I think.
He hasn't had much table time so far, has he, Hamilton? He's been living off scraps here and there, really. Half a chance in the second frame, Mr. Blue. Proved to be his last shot of the frame. Confirmation that he's not seeing a lot of the action in the early stages. Did arrive here in Germany off the back of one of his best wins of the season to qualify for the extremely lucrative China Open, which is upcoming in the spring, beating David John 6-5 from 5-1 down.
Foul.
Well, that was the danger.
Robertson 4.
And better in the pocket, them wriggling in the jaws of the pocket, and the cue ball staying down this end of the table. This red will go just below the black, but he's got to avoid those two reds closest together.
That applause was for Ding Junhui, levelling up against Michael Georgiou. Ding did actually miss frame ball at the back end of that second frame, but Georgiou unable to punish him, so 1-1. There is Ding. That's on table 3. Table 2, Joe Perry and Yu Delu. Table 4, I should say. And Yu Delu took the opening frame. Second still underway in the only other match ongoing this afternoon. There's the gentleman.
Well, that can be made. But he can't see it this time round. Yes, that was a better shot than it looked. He had to catch those reds really thin, otherwise he would have made a cannon to the red by the pink. That was an excellent safety. And it's just got a little scrappy, this frame, Black and pink tied up. All those reds over the left side of the table. What about this? What about that for a shot? Incredible shot. Lots of left-hand side on the cue ball. Had to catch it fairly thick. Now, has he got the snooker or has he left the plant? No, can't see the plant. Can play off those reds. He was unfortunate there, Jimmy Robertson. But you never know. He could have paid off if he knocks this long red in. Well, he caught that one all wrong. There was just too much anxiety in that shot. And he knows it. But nothing easy left. Red to the middle. Not a gimme.
One.
Well, will he take this brown on? It's not easy, this. And he's not playing for an easy red either. Good pot, but not a kind kiss. Could have done without hitting the yellow, although this red is still on. But it would have been easier. No, he's going to get fortunate here.
Anthony Hamilton,
cue ball finishing up behind the green. Well, the problem that Jimmy's got here, if he takes that long red on and misses it, he leaves the red over the baulk corner. Easy enough to hide that red by rolling up into the reds, but we'd be in a kind of stalemate.
The winner of this match plays either Gary Wilson or the 2016 German Masters winner Martin Gould in the round of 16. Just a reminder, the feature this evening here on Eurosport, Zhao Guodong against the world number one, Mark Selby, another former champion at the Templedrum. Selby beat Murphy 3 years ago now. Not a very enticing table, Joe.
Well, it's one of those kind of tables now where if he rolls up into the reds, it could be a stalemate and even a re-rack. He's just trying to make sure that he doesn't leave the easy red on over the ball corner. And the cue ball drifted off, and I think that Hamilton can see the red. Wanted to hit that full ball, but the cue ball just drifted to the left slightly. And it's afforded Hamilton this chance. Well, the green, not easy. Easy enough to play the snooker, but easy enough to escape. So taking the green on. Look at that long flowing action he's got. But he's struggling at the moment. He's been unfortunate there.
Anthony Hamilton won.
Could have left something very easy on. And Jimmy Robertson will see this. And he'll realise that he's got a half chance here. He's 2-0 up. If he could go 3-0 up. Doesn't want to leave anything easy though for Hamilton, so that he can relax and knock in a good break.
It looks as though we're in for the long haul then in this third frame. You have to go back to 2012 and Shanghai Masters qualifying for the last time that Anthony Hamilton and Jimmy Robertson met on the table. Robertson scoring his only win in 3 attempts, 5-3 on that occasion. Certainly looked the stronger player this afternoon thus far. Still a long way to go though, first of 5 frames to go through to the last 16. It remains that way until the semi-finals, then it's the first of 6, best of 11 and the final best of 17. Suddenly the table opening up though. Joe Perry and Udaloo, by the way, are now level at 1 apiece. Udaloo took the first frame. Perry has levelled things up, although the Chinese is 28-0 up in the third frame. This time he may have left a red to the left middle. It's a difficult one, and one that he would have to get
with all the reds spread like they are. Looks like he's taking it on. Well, it was a risky shot, and now Hamilton with a chance, a real chance, this one.
One. Pink ball. Seven. Eight.
And this is just what
14.
Hamilton needed. An easy chance to get his arm going and into this match.
$15.
The blue spot held, so it would go into the black spot. May take the green. Well, he could play the cannon to the red by the pink, by the blue spot, release the blue spot, and then he could pop the black, and the black would go on the blue spot instead of being on the green spot.
$21.
Ronnie O'Sullivan flagged up the great strength of Anthony Hamilton's game down the years ahead of this match. His
28.
break building, he's made 277 centuries, just 6 this season though.
$29. $33. $34.
Yeah, that will do nicely.
41.
40 points in the game. 3 reds required.
Yeah. Ta. Thank you. $42.
Played that one nicely.
47. Thank you.
Oh, just overscrewed it slightly.
48.
He may need the rest for this pink. And he needs one more red. So I would have liked to have been straighter on this pink. Oh, that was clean. And he's on the red to the middle, and that's the only red he'll need. Also on the red to the green pocket. That was the red he needed, and he'll feel a lot better. And this is one thing that Robertson didn't want Hamilton to do, but it was a tricky red that Robertson played into the middle.
Yes, it's been a very timely response as Robertson watches on from Anthony Hamilton. He needed this. He looked a little shaky in the early stages. He has had quite a few early losses in tournaments this season.
59.
3-0 behind in a race to 5. Would have been a tall order to retrieve, but he'll now feel part of the match.
$66. Anthony Hamilton, 66, and the frame.
An excellent break of 66 then from the defending German Masters champion Anthony Hamilton. He needed that, a timely intervention. He's right back in the battle. He trails by 2 frames to 1.
Hey, what's this? He's using the new odds boost feature from Ladbrokes. He's weighing up his options. He's got a chance to do something special here. Oh, great clicking from the lad. He's lining up the top right. He's hit the odds boost. Look how his odds are boosted instantly. Let's go to the replay. That's a belter from his right finger. Unbelievable!
At Ladbrokes, get a free in-play odds boost in both halves in all live TV games. When the fun stops, stop.
We're stuck! Hello? Nice shoes.
Try mine if you like.
Thanks.
Oh, it feels lovely.
Hello, who's this?
Won't be long now, girl.
Chicken Selects. Tender chicken breast strips in a seasoned crispy coating.
Ooh. Hello.
Get your own.
The first day here live at the Templedrum. The 2018 German Masters is well underway. Anthony Hamilton, who broke a 24-year ranking title duck in claiming this title 12 months ago, back in action, defending his crown against Jimmy Robertson. But Robertson leads by 2 frames to 1. Critically, from Hamilton's point of view, though, a break of 66 in the third frame after he'd been outplayed in the first couple. So this the last before the mid-session interval.
Thank you. It's frame 4. Jimmy Robertson to break.
And we're actually ahead of the game here on table 1. In contrast, it's still 1 apiece between Ding Junhui and Michael Georgiou on table 3. And on table 4, likewise, 1 each, Joe Perry and New Duluth.
Needs that red to slow down.
Former English amateur champion Jimmy Robertson, tournament that predates the World Championship, first stage back in 1916. I don't think even Joe can remember that far back.
I played in it.
What, in 1916? You were a prodigy.
I lost in the final.
Was that to Griffiths?
Yeah, what a tremendous heritage we've got. Some great names won that tournament.
Yeah, 5 of them who actually won it went on to become world champion, including Stuart Bingham, Ray Reardon, Spencer, the aforementioned Griffiths. And you were one of 3 runners-up who also won the world title.
Yes, runners-up in the English, runners-up in the world, all to Welshmen. Terry Griffiths and Cliff Wilson. 2 great players. This has got a little bit scrappy again, this frame, because the red down in the balk area. But that was the chance. Now, there may be a red that goes to the green pocket here. Wasn't far away, this one. So you can play for the black here, or the blue. can't leave anything except the red he's playing on. Well, that certainly opened things up if somebody does get a chance.
Ding Junhui is now 2-1 up on Michael Zhu, having lost the opening frame. That's on table 3. Joe Perry likewise 2-1 now to the good against Yu Delu on table 4. And there's Ding, former champion here.
Well, he could play the deep screw back off the red directly above the cue ball, or the two reds to the side of it. He can dig down into the cue ball here. It's not close enough to the cushion. He's also got the option of just playing up to them. Looks like he's going to try and bring the cue ball back. Well, by getting the cue ball tight on the cushion, Robertson may just play that red next to the yellow, try and leave the cue ball on the baulk cushion in the jaws of the yellow pocket. It's a good shot that Hamilton just played. Took his time thinking about it, but the end result is trouble. Oh, well, look how far away that one is.
Hamilton 4.
That's just nerves.
Yeah, these modern cloths are fast, but they're not that fast. Makes a huge difference, doesn't it, with a safety battle like this, if you can get that cue ball welded to the top cushion.
How far was it from the cushion? Was it touching the cushion?
Just the defensive safety from Robertson, which he hit all wrong.
Yeah, Anthony?
A little heavy. A little heavy. And he might just have left a chance here for Robertson. But if you remember, in the last frame, he took a red onto the middle and missed it. It cost him the frame. He hasn't missed this one, though. And that's a good kiss. He's nicely on the green. So look at the reds. All there for the taking.
That pot might just be the difference between 2 each and 3-1 Robertson at the interval.
Four. Five. Ten. 11.
Well, it was a poor safety
16.
from Hamilton. It was such an easy safety
17.
shot. He was just skimming off the reds, coming in behind the black, and he misjudged it by a long way. And it could be very costly for him.
$22.
Didn't quite come far enough for the red.
23.
Now he could play the green here and play for that red just below the pink spot. And if he could get on that one fairly straight, that could lead him to the black. Well, he didn't want the kiss, but boy, has that worked out nicely. Double kiss onto this red. Very fortunate.
26.
Played to miss this red, but got the double kiss and came down for the red he was playing on. Very fortunate indeed.
27. $34. 35.
Well, he told me ahead of this
Yes.
match that he's hitting the ball well, and there's been plenty of evidence for that so far this afternoon from Jimmy Robertson. Excellent break of 70 to double his lead to 2-0. And an excellent chance now to make it 3-1 at the interval. This is the red. This is missable under pressure. Look what he'd be leaving if he had missed. Might just be a frame winner.
$42.
Well, he played round the two cushions for this red, but he could have just stunned off the black cushion for choice of reds into the left middle. He's left this a little bit more difficult than it should have been. But he's potted it and back in prime
43.
position. And this time he did play for the red to the left middle.
50.
46 points the lead. Well, it was never in. It was always to the top angle.
50.
Never drifted, but they don't. Now a chance to hit straight back for Hamilton. And this would hurt Robertson if he should lose this frame. It was his for the taking there.
One.
Not ideally on the black. Didn't quite get into the cue ball as he wanted. And looks like the cue ball could be going into the red by the middle pocket, unless he plays it with a little bit of stunt. Overcut it, and that's a real let-off for Jimmy Robertson, just what he needed.
Anthony Hamilton.
Now does the red pass the brown? Well, there's the answer. And it's red down the cushion, very difficult.
And the big applause is for a 1-3-1 break from Ding Junhui, who lost the first frame this afternoon against Michael Georgiou, but has won the next three. So Ding seemingly back to something like his best there. He leads 3-1 at the interval.
It a little bit too thin again, and he may have left the red to the left middle. Played a shot earlier and the cue ball drifted off to the right. I think it did the same thing again there. So another chance for Hamilton.
One.
And that's gone as bad as it could have done. He's straight on the blue. Any angle at all, and he could got closer to the reds.
Six.
Yeah, that's a good shot with the rest.
Seven.
And nicely on the pink. Touch the kiss well.
13.
And this is the last of the easy reds. And played
14.
this one well. Should be able to drop in behind this red by the middle.
This frame is taking on greater significance by the minute. Not only, of course, if Hamilton were to win it, would he level, but
20.
be a real hammer blow for Jimmy Robertson. Having had chances to clinch it, he'll feel as though he should already be in to the dressing room now with a 3-1 lead. Still plenty, though, for the defending champ to do.
$21.
Well, he gave it a lot of consideration, that shot. And when he finally played it, he's in no man's land. It's not going to be easy now to get to the next red. Oh, that kiss on the yellow. It could be very costly. 24 points the difference. So Jimmy needs both of these reds. You know, if he could leave an angle on the green to try and bring that red into play. Prefer to come down the table for the pink. This is where he could do with just having a little think, because if he pots the pink, he still needs that red, but everything's there for the taking. I think putting the colour safe here could be advantageous. Play for the double, but as I say, if he should leave the red on, it could cost him the frame.
And if you miss the double, you're trusting to luck in that regard. So, big shot coming up.
Just wonder if he could play this in such a way as to play the snooker if he misses it. No, didn't take it on. Don't blame him.
Jimmy Robertson 7.
But for those 6 points, Philip, and the game there for the taking off the last red, I'd rather have a colour safe and forget about the 6 points.
Especially if you're not going to attempt frame ball.
Yeah, well, the frame ball was on the cushion, wasn't it? So unless he could have knocked it out, and he couldn't because it was straight on the pink, then the 6 points is neither here nor there at this level.
31 the difference, 35 on.
Now is the double on this time. If you can get the cue ball in behind the green and brown and take the double on, it may be worth a go. If not, then a safety shot again. Took it on this time. And he's got the snooker. Yes, it was worth that this time round, because had he got the snooker, like he has done, there's 31 points in the game, so he has to hit this one, Hamilton.
Foul.
Well, now he needs snookers. And he's left the red on.
Jimmy Robertson 6.
So Jimmy Robertson has escaped this frame. Could have lost it. Hamilton had a chance, but it's going to be going to the interval. 3-1 down. The defending champion.
1.
Not out of it by any means, but a lot of work to do. He's got to win 4 of the next 5 frames, Anthony Hamilton, barring Snookers, of course, in this one.
Jimmy Robertson 1.
38 the difference, 27 there. 3 Snookers required.
The wrong man getting the Snookers. I think that will do.
Jimmy Robertson 4, frame conceded.
It will indeed. So the defending German Masters champion, Anthony Hamilton, has a lot to do when the 15-minute break comes to an end. Jimmy Robertson, I think, deserves his lead at the mid-session interval. He leads by 3 frames to 1, needing 2 more to go through to the round of 16.
Totally agree, Philip. The bookies couldn't split them beforehand, but they can now. This is why they were worried about Jimmy Robertson, Neil Poles and Jimmy. And also, Mark Williams and Lee Walker will be our special guests for a bit of fun at the mid-session. Stay with us.
Which ultimately helped him to get over the line in the 4th frame, although he did miss a couple of opportunities to kill it off. Hamilton had a chance to pinch it. But I think 3-1, Joe, is a fair reflection of what we've seen so far.
Yeah, I mean, he could have lost that last frame, Robertson, which could have affected the whole match. But being 3-1 up, and it's time to settle down again. Maybe we'll see some fireworks in this session. Anthony's certainly got to improve his game. He had a chance in the last frame to make it 2 each. And as we always say, this game is always played in the mind as well. Probably just as much so. Can't see a path back to balk, Anthony, so he's looking at landing up into the reds. And if he's going to land up into them, maybe he could just fire directly into the reds. Just land up into them. No need to come off the cushion.
Foul, miss. Jimmy Robertson 4.
prove expensive, those 4 points. But he's got the line now, so shouldn't be a problem this time just to land up into them. And that's where it was before.
Foul. And miss. Jimmy Robertson 4.
Knew as soon as he'd hit it that he hadn't hit it hard enough.
Yes, and it's one of those kind of shots where you can hit it just a little bit harder. He's got the line of the shot, so he's not going to disturb too much if he just hits it too hard even. Well, that's certainly hard enough. Caught it a touch too thin. It was a big target, the blue and the yellow. He'd like to take this red on down the cushion, but he's leaving reds on if he misses it, and that's a tough shot. But the safety's not easy. Pulling a lot of right-hand side on the cue ball, and he couldn't have played that much better. That was a difficult shot with the red being so close to the cushion. Always difficult shots, those.
The applause is for Ding Junhui, who is now a frame away from victory over Michael Georgiou. 4-1 Ding leads. Made a 1-3-1 break before the interval.
Yes, he's due a good run, isn't he? Meanwhile, Hamilton played a very good safety there with lots of right-hand side on the cue ball. And it just drifted in behind the blue to leave Jimmy in lots of trouble. Oh, he's completely missed it, that one. Unless he lands right behind that red, and he hasn't done. He's left reds on. He was playing to hit the red just below the pink on the other side of the reds. And that's how far out he was. The other side of the pink. So that good safety shot has given him this chance.
Needs to find some of the inspiration that took him to this title last year now, Hamilton. And there was nothing easy about his run either. Had to beat the likes of Anthony McGill, Mark Williams, Mark Selby, Barry Hawkins, Stuart Bingham, and then of course Ali Carter in the title match.
Well, that was some players, wasn't it? And just proved what a good player he is, Anthony Hamilton. As Ronnie was saying, he's been a great player for a long time. Great break builder.
I think it was doubly impressive after what had happened just a couple of months previously in Belfast at the Northern Ireland Open, when he was on the cusp of making the final there. Lost in the end by the odd frame to Barry Hawkins, feathering the white when he was in to win. And mentally that could have finished him off, but he bounced back in spectacular fashion here in Berlin. Oh, talking of miscues.
Well, that's a disaster, isn't it?
Anthony Hamilton 8.
Digging down into the cue ball, imparting lots of backswing on the cue ball. And sometimes that does happen. But this could hurt.
One.
Well, he's got a good angle here to go into the reds. This is the miscue again. No foul because he hit the red.
Eight.
Jimmy Robertson was able to punish a miss blue from Hamilton in frame 2 with that match high break of 73. Can he inflict similar damage here and put himself within a frame of the next round?
Well, he tried to nudge more reds out there, and that's what Anthony's just pressing the sandpaper into the tip to try and make some indentation in the tip so it accepts the chalk. Oh, that only just went in.
$16.
Well, this is a plant. And that's opened the reds
17.
up. Poor positional shot from such an easy plant. May have to just play the cannon to those two reds above the black. And he's played it well, leaving himself on this red to the right corner.
24.
Able to play the cannon off the other red to hold for the black. Again,
25.
he's just overhit that again. Didn't think he needed to hit it quite so hard. But maybe push a colour safe. No, he's going for the pot. What an attacking shot that was. And unfortunately, it stayed out.
25.
So great chance this for Hamilton now. The ball's nicely spread, and as you look at this missed black again.
One.
Under hit it. Wanted to be straighter on this red to the middle.
8.
Could play cannon to brown, which would hold the cue ball for the blue. But it's risky because if you miss the cannon to the brown, you could finish on the ball cushion.
Nine. Blue ball. Fourteen. 15. 20. 21.
'Yeah, just finished a little straight. So I may have to play this with a lot of side on the cue ball to try and play for the red into the middle. And screw it back with more power for the red into the corner. Needs to slow down, otherwise he's out of position.
28.
How is he on it? No, not quite. So this one, a lot more difficult. Never easy. And where's it going to finish?
Anthony Hamilton,
left
28.
It's a seismic frame, isn't it? The difference between 4-1 and just a 3-2 deficit for Anthony Hamilton.
Well, he could have made sure, the last shot, he could have made sure of being on a red by playing for the red into the middle. It's a similar type of shot to what he played, just a little bit slower.
1.
But this isn't an easy table. 2 reds behind the black spot is fairly safe. This looks good. Good positional shot.
4.
Needs to leave an angle on the black to disturb those 2 reds.
5.
Now, what kind of an angle has he got? Has he got the angle to disturb them? Yes, just. And that will do nicely.
12.
Anxious times these for Anthony. That looks
13.
good. Perfectly onto the blue. He could drop in behind those 2 reds, go to the left corner, or he could play down for this red behind the black. Choice is his. Oh, he's not hit this well. Too hard unless it goes to the right corner, this red. In
18.
which case, it's very good. Oh, what a miss.
Jimmy Robertson, 18.
Robertson will be disappointed with that. That was more or less frame ball. It's just not there at the moment for Anthony.
That's been the problem today for Hamilton. He's not been able to capitalise on the errors that have come from the cue of Jimmy Robertson.
One.
Again, he just didn't get into the cue ball enough. Wanted to be a little straighter on the black. Don't think he's got the angle to play the cannon to that red on the cushion. And dropping in behind it is going to be difficult. He's going to leave himself with a very difficult red down the cushion.
A red that he pushed safe just now in missing a red into the opposite corner.
8.
Well, he's landed pretty good on this red. Now, does he play it slow or at pace? Gave it every chance. And that was a brave shot to take on from Robertson there. It caught the cushion, but still dropped in the pocket. Decided not to play for the pot, but the snooker. 31 points, the difference. So
16.
If Hamilton missed the snooker, there'd be 35 in the game. Good
Jimmy
kiss
Robertson, 16.
for Jimmy.
This was a key shot, but you've seen these stay out in the past. Look at where it hit the cushion, and it was travelling, but it dropped.
Yeah, see it at the right speed for the ball to be accepted by the pocket. Any harder, then it may well have stayed out. But this is trouble for Hamilton. But if he could hit it, get it safe, it would be a red ball game then.
Udaloo, by the way, is now 3-2 up on Joe Perry. I think he's just enjoyed a sizable fluke. He's back in frame 6 on a break of 35. There is Udaloo. Fluke to red just now. Looking to go 2 up with 3 to play against the gentleman.
Yeah, good hit. But where's it going to finish? And can Robertson see it? Well, he can see it. Just needs the red. Looks easy on TV, but it isn't. Well played.
One.
He's going to be 4-1 up, barring Snookers. And that's a good black to drop in. That ensures him this 5th frame.
8.
Hamilton had a chance to get right back into this frame. It's not been a clinical one from Robertson, but
10.
He won't care about that now. He's won it. That's all that matters. It's going to be a very commanding lead.
Yes, and that red down the cushion that you mentioned, Philip, was all important, and he
13.
played it the right way for me, just rolling it down the cushion. Had he played it at speed, it would probably have stayed out.
17.
It was a brave shot to play, because if he'd have missed it, the red would have been over the pocket, with every chance of Hamilton taking his frame. So
22.
full marks to Jimmy.
In the
and
frame.
Anthony Hamilton's grip on
Jimmy
the
Robertson.
German Masters title looking rather precarious now, with Jimmy Robertson powering into a 4-frames-to-1 lead. He needs just one more to book his place in the last 16 for just the 3rd time in his career.
Ladbrokes, proud sponsors of snooker on Eurosport.
Chris and his companion here are the same age and both love a night out. For some sites, this is enough to make them a match. But at eHarmony, our experts partner people on the stuff that really matters.
Caught it just a little bit too thin, but fortunately the red has gone near the cushion. That's another very good safety from Jimmy Robertson, keeping the pressure right on Anthony Hamilton. Can see a red, but difficult to play safe off it. So, looking at coming off the side cushion, landing up into the reds. Well, that was risky. He could have left the red on. There was no colour available, but didn't like the snooker escape. red on the left side cushion is forcing Jimmy to play this off 3 cushions. And he's missed the ball completely. But fortunately, he hit the other red. And somehow it's gone safe. Another good safety. This time from Anthony Hamilton. Well, this has got to be just the paint. And that's all he can hit by the looks of it. Yeah, forced him into playing a good shot, that.
Anthony Hamilton's pot success today, just 82. That doesn't normally cut it at this level.
Got to be careful not to push one over this left corner. And that's just what he's done. Now, can Jimmy see it? Well, wouldn't like to be taking that one on. Full length of the table, straight. You'd have to drop this one in dead weight to finish on the black. And the cue ball drifts to the right. Let's see if we can see it.
Foul.
Yeah, well, there wasn't much you could do.
Anthony
Didn't want to
Hamilton,
risk
four.
playing it dead weight. No damage done, just the 4 points given away. Another good safety. This is more like it from Hamilton.
Well, that's how to play a 2-cushion escape, isn't it? Could not have hit that any better.
And now it's Hamilton that's got the same type of shot.
The Templedrum in all its glory, a 2,500-seater arena, and by common consent, one of the very best on the circuit now. The players love playing here.
What a nice kiss off the pink for Anthony. Well, he did well to get the cue ball back down the table, but it has pushed a red towards this right corner. A chance for Hamilton. Not easy. It's a good pot, and that cue ball's coming out to balk. So this is a reasonable chance. Anthony Hamilton.
Just one break of significance from Hamilton so far, the 66 he made in frame 3.
He's overscrewed it. And he's done that a couple of times today.
3.
Left himself a very tough pot to the left corner. Good recovery.
4.
Well, he's fighting. He's played some good safety in this frame. Now he's got to score.
Six.
Good play for the pink into the middle, pink into the left corner, same pocket as the red. Screw for the blue. You could even play for the black, which is not recommended.
Michael Georgiou, meanwhile, has kept his match alive against Ding Junhui. Over on table 3, it's now 4-2 to Ding.
Right across it. And he's left the red on.
Anthony Hamilton 6.
Just a little bit of movement. That's all there has to be. Well, he doesn't want to start missing. And he only needs one frame.
And he's only been past the round of 32 once this season. That was at the World Open.
Only been in the last 16 twice in his career. So it is a big match for him, this. And Anthony is starting to play a bit better. 2 reds by the pink spot. The lower one will certainly go. Well,
7.
It could have worked out. Tried to catch that red full in the face, which would have left him on the black.
Anthony Hamilton 7.
Big frame has just come to a conclusion over on table 4, hence the prolonged applause. It's gone the way of Joe Perry on the final black. A couple of huge flukes from Hugh DeLue in that frame. It could have been 4-2 in the event, tied up at 3 each.
And again, nice flick there. Oh, can Hamilton see the edge of these reds? If not, then it's a good safety. You can just see them. Caught them a little bit thick. It's okay. This red very thin to the right corner. Robertson looking for one good chance to seal this frame a match. Well, that's another half chance. Hasn't knocked in many of those shots to nothing. Maybe a chance to bring the black into play here for Jimmy Robertson. Play around the 3 cushions, try and drop in behind the brown. Yeah, that's pretty good. Good safety. Plenty of danger here. And that's just what's happened. And now a chance for Jimmy Robertson. Great chance this. It was a good safety that he played, but he caught this red much too thin.
One.
And get the pink back on its spot. Makes the break building easier.
The only question left now for Jimmy Robertson, having put himself in a match-winning situation, is can he deliver that final thrust? Can he deal with the nerves? This would be one of the biggest wins of his career. We've mentioned he's only been to the last 16 of a ranking event twice before. Turned pro way back in 2002.
He's certainly got the ability, without a doubt. I've seen him play 2 or 3 times, and he's been unfortunate in those instances. He has played well, and I think he has got bottle.
13.
And he's going to have to prove it now. But if he can
14.
keep that cue ball under control, has he come too far?
20.
Well, that's just what he can't afford to do.
Jimmy Robertson,
Sends
20.
a very clear message, doesn't it, to Anthony Hamilton that this match is by no means done. Yes, Hamilton's 4-1 down in a race to 5, but Robertson clearly feeling it inside of victory.
Yeah, what happens is you try and make sure of the red. And you finish up missing it. It's a let-off, though. Unfortunately, the red has run safe.
That's the problem. Hamilton's just not playing well enough at the moment to capitalise on his opponent's errors. Just one break of any note. Virtually nothing else.
Well, I think it's worth taking this red on down the cushion. Got to try and win the match. Well, that's a good safety, though. It's how you see the frame. And if you didn't fancy the red, then don't take it on. Managed to cover that one nearest the pocket, which leaves Hamilton in a bit of trouble, because if he plays the cue ball back down the table, he may leave that red on closest to the right corner. Just caught it a little bit too thin. And that's why the cue balls come in and out of baulk. This red, very tough. But it was a chance. And Jimmy's knocked it in. He needs to finish top side of the blue. Now he's got to take the pink. But that red near the left middle pocket is available. Could also play the cannon to those two reds. That's on the black cushion. And that's what he's done. It hasn't been fortunate. Still got the red to the left middle, but it's very difficult from there. This is the cannon again. Could have done with catching that red from behind. Doesn't have to take the pot on. Thinking of taking this red on to the right corner. It's a tough red, this, to the middle. Oh, what a good shot. That could be a frame winner and match winner. That's a terrific shot. Now, may play for the black this time round. If it's touching the cushion,
13.
It's easy enough.
14.
Played for the pink, and he's got a nice angle to bring that red off the cushion and stay on the red down the cushion.
Yes.
Again, decided to play for this loose red. Looks like it could have been a heavy contact as well. Another good shot, and another good angle on the pink to play the same shot as I suggested last time round. And that's nice, it's on the red to the middle. He wanted it fuller. That's okay, 30 points the difference.
27.
And 51 on the table, 43 if and when this red disappears. Robertson edging towards the winning line.
So 31 points the difference. 33 with the yellow. So he's going to need a colour off this red down the cushion. A little bounce. Ooh, that's too much of a bounce. Had a lot of side on the cue ball there.
30.
A red in any colour, but this is horrible.
Well, so much so that I wouldn't be surprised if he didn't take it on. Got to try and get that cue ball in behind the brown if he does take it on. Just in case he misses it. Nowhere near. And he didn't play him behind the brown.
Foul.
That's a terrible shot.
Jimmy Robertson, 30. Anthony Hamilton, 4.
It was so unlikely that he was going to get the pot. So why not play the cue ball into a good position? Needs a good kiss, and that isn't one.
.32 the difference, 35 remaining.
Oh, what a big shot this is. If this doesn't go in, he could be leaving the red on. Yeah, what a brave shot that was from Anthony Hamilton, because he would have been out of the tournament had that not gone in. And it very nearly didn't.
7.
Well, it wasn't easy down the cushion. I expected him to get it, but it wasn't easy.
So, Jimmy Robertson only needing red and colour.
Yeah, or a good snooker.
He's definitely feeling the nerves that come with being on the cusp of a very significant win. And you get the feeling that if Hamilton could get out of this frame, this match is far from done. But that's a big if.
Didn't want that kiss on the pink. Now does Jimmy Robertson take this red on? If he potted the red, Hamilton could only tie. But it's a difficult pot. Why play it so hard? Although he has got away with it. Could have just played to pot the red, leave the cue ball by the black spot.
Yeah, a rueful smile indeed. Missed the red by a margin, but he snookered Hamilton on it.
And not easy. Anxious moments. Hamilton's got to hit the red and get it safe. And it's difficult to hit. .26 points behind. Well, that's a good hit, but look where the red's gone. That's it for Hamilton. He couldn't have hit it any worse.
One.
Anthony Hamilton played some terrific snooker 12 months ago here at the Templedrum. Beat some of the world's finest to claim his first ever ranking title today. Nothing like that form. Jimmy Robertson has been solid. He's certainly shown nerves inside of the winning line, but this is a very significant win for him. It's not been a match of the highest quality, but Robertson won't care a jot about that. He's through to the last 16.
11.
Either Gary Wilson or Martin Gould, former champion here, next in line. And Anthony Hamilton,
Robertson, 11.
barring snookers, can look forward to a few days' holiday here in Berlin. For snookers. I think he wants to squeeze every last ounce of his German Masters title defence. Jimmy Robertson will be feeling pretty good inside.
Yes, he won't mind him playing on. He knows that he's going through to the next round. And that's surely it.
4. 9.
Hey, Jim.
Jimmy Robertson.
Anthony Hamilton's German Masters title defence is over here at the Templedrum, and Jimmy Robertson scores one of the biggest wins of his professional career, just the third time he's made it through to the round of 16 in a ranking event. It was tight, it was edgy for him at the end, but he wins pretty comprehensively. When you look at that scoreline, 5-1, big win for Robertson.
So is this the week that the breakthrough happens for Jimmy Robertson? Our other Jimmy's here on the sofa here at the Templedrum in Berlin. Neil Folds alongside Jimmy White.